There are two kind of people. One is looking for security and one is looking for greatness. For example, in last 3 years, you
Yeah.
made $2 million.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And in next 3 years, you are not going to make that much money. And
Because of the position of the planet?
yes, and you will start to see how planet impacts you.
How do you put together this?
How
what
I
does
put-
it depend?
That there is some genetic problems or something negative is coming from the side of ancestors.
Can you give the exact date when a person will get married?
Good astrologer is 80% of his prediction comes true. 80%. How astrology can help? It can help you to understand when your nightmares can end. I think it's a super science, if you ask me.
Hello, Puneet.
Hi, Vadim.
How are you?
I'm very well.
Good. You really have helped a lot of people. Can you explain to us today how astrology can help?
I mean, it's a very interesting question, and it's very simple. There are two ways how astrology can help. One is it can help you to understand yourself better. And it might sound something very small, but I will try to give you example and I will try to explain like how important and how significant this is. Second, it can help you to do a good planning,
Planning.
a very good planning. So also I will try to give you example like how important this is, okay? And how it can impact. Let's understand first with understanding yourself. So imagine, for example, not imagine, like we don't come with a user's manual. We do not know who we are in some sense. We do not have an idea of our capacities. And most of what we know, that comes from outside, most of what we know. And in that outside, there's always a possibility of a projection. Let's say like if I am a guy which think from the perspective of Mars and Sun, then I will believe like let's do without thinking of much consequences. But if I'm a guy which is from perspective of Venus, Saturn or Mercury, I would be, let's be careful. Let's not make mistake. There's no rush. So there are two kind of people, first of all, to start with. One is people which are looking for greatness, and other are people which are looking for security.
Greatness and security.
Yes.
Nothing else, like the two.
First, the basic division.
the basic two ones.
division. Now imagine you are you are someone which is looking for greatness, but you're raised by a parents which are looking for security. And it changes everything because now what happened is they would create a new program. And that program will create an inner conflict. Your natural instinct will tell you, go for greatness. Your natural instinct will tell you, you don't need to prepare. Your natural instinct will tell you, like, you can get anything done. And your parents' voice will tell, no, actually, you cannot. And this creates basically inner conflict.
And one believes the parents. And I
And-
do believe my parents. So everybody, they tell me.
So the point is that in this inner conflict, a person doesn't even know whose side to take.
Well, most obviously, I would take my parents' side. Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah, most
So-
likely.
So then you go to astrologer, for example. You came to me and I will tell you like this is your natural program. Without any programming from the society, without any programming from any outside influence. This is who you are.
Who you are and what
This
you're
is what program you're bringing.
destined to.
And this is your guideline. You should not do this, you should not do this, you should not do this, according to this. Now you feel for yourself. Whether it makes sense to you, it doesn't make sense for you. But according to the system, this is your user's manual. This is you should not do. And if you do, you are compromising to your heart. And if you are compromising on the very foundation on which your emotions and your life stand, you will go in depression. You will start to lose life energy. Why so many people are depressed? Why so many people are depressed? Not because life is so difficult, not because like we are living in much, much harsher conditions than our ancestors live.
No, not really.
I mean, like, comparatively, we are like living in really much, much comfortable situation.
Yeah.
What kings and queens did not had like 200, 300, 400 years back, we have like, like on our fingertips.
Yep.
Even being a normal person, forget about right now being an important person. So,
True.
so keeping this in mind, once you have this idea, then you have a totally different understanding of yourself. That's the point number one. Point number two, let's imagine that you're going through a bad planetary period.
Okay.
That means your car is Rolls Royce. but you're driving it in a desert. An astrologer will tell you in 3 years, you will pass this desert and you would be running your Rolls Royce on a highway.
Is my Rolls Royce going to be destroyed by those 3 years, by this desert?
Rolls Royce would not be destroyed by
Okay.
3 years in desert, but
Okay,
what
now
I'm
Rolls
trying
Royce
to
is
explain
definitely
is
not-
when you're suffering,
Okay.
then suffering seems endless. Like you're suffering and you don't know like what to believe, what not to believe. You're going through really dark nights of the soul. And in that time, astrologer can help you to understand when to expect these events will stop. Again, to understand why he can say it, there is a karmic planetary period. And this karmic planetary period activate a certain department. And that department start to create certain good or bad manifestation to a certain point. Now, for example, after 6 months, they will change this whole algorithm will change and life will become easier. And
Because of the position of the planets?
yes, not because of the position of planet, because of the karmic planetary periods, how you receive. So,
But karmic planetary periods
Karmic-
is calculated according to what?
karmic planetary period is calculating according to the pralant.
Position? No, not the position of planets?
Again, astrology, Indian astrology, it works on that in this particular life, you are going to pay for certain karma, good and bad.
Okay.
And according to that, when you are born, a algorithm starts, which is called karmic period. This algorithm will have its up and its down. It will activate good houses, it will activate challenging houses. So imagine a person is going through a challenging time. And in 6 months, this is going to finish. And I tell a person, in 6 months, your life would be totally different.
How can you see is that in 6 months? According to
There are
which data?
There is a 120 years of this karmic period.
Right.
So that's the main period,
Yeah.
divided into 9 planets.
Okay.
Now, within this 9 planet, there is a sub-period. That sub-period can last from 8 to 9 months, 6 months to 3 years.
Okay.
And each sub-period will bring very big changes. Then under sub-period, there is also one more sub-period. That also can bring drastic changes. So those changes you can look. Let me show you.
It's sign. It's not a planet.
So this is how a main period looks like. You can see here,
Yeah,
2040,
okay. Yeah,
2030,
yeah. We can see in this-
2049.
in the screen,
And
yeah.
then you see the sub-period. That's Jupiter Sun, for example, from November 2024 till September 2025. Then in Sun, let's say there is a Sun Rahu, 22nd January till 7th of March. So from 22nd till 7th of March, it's a very intense, difficult period. But by 8th of March, the person will start to feel totally different. So imagine someone comes to you and tells you like, I'm feeling very bad right now, like really one of the worst period of my like mental state. And you tell him, just wait till 7th of March and things will start to change for you. And things really starts to change.
Period changes.
Yes.
The planetary period
Absolutely.
changes.
And I'm saying even if you're skeptical, you don't understand anything, don't even interpret. Just keep these dates, accurate dates when things are changing, and analyze with the changes which it brings in your life. And you will start to see how planet impacts you. So, how astrology can help? It can help you to understand when your nightmares can end. It can help you to understand if you are having a great time and you think the great time would be forever. Nothing is forever in this world.
No.
So if you are going from a great time, so for example, from a great time you're going to shift to a good time. How to create a strategy for that? What kind of planning has to be there that you are prepared for that? And at the same time, how to bring best out of every situation. So I don't believe that there should be something like negative prediction, but there should be a strategy for every phase of life. Like for example, should you prepare for old age? You should prepare for old age. Should you prepare that there could be one day something goes here and there and you have something reserved, financial? Do you prepare for something that if everything goes wrong, you have land somewhere or you have some property somewhere? These are basically just being responsible for your life and taking matters into your hand.
Right. You mean that one can change what is predicted, so you, or at least change the degree.
I'm not even saying change or not change. I'm saying you have a great time.
Okay.
Then you have a semi-great time. So how from great time to semi-great time, organize everything in manner that nothing changes in negative manner for you.
So that I would feel better.
Yes, for
in
example,
this
you
period
made,
of change.
for example, in last 3 years, you
Yeah.
made $2 million.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And in next 3 years, you are not going to make that much money. So if we know from the astrological perspective that these 3 years money, which we can invest wisely, which can be saved wisely, and can be put on the right place, even when you will start to make less money, it's not going to have that negative impact on you because you're prepared, for example.
Okay.
Or right now you're going through a hard time where you completely don't have any money, you're struggling, you're hustling. And you know, like within 3 months, this hustling part is going to come to an end, and I would start to go in a phase which is totally different. So that astrology can help. Plus, for example, Western astrology, or in West right now, psychologists are talking about positive manifestation, they are talking about negative manifestation. They don't have any idea in detail what it means. There are about 1,000 combinations of positive and negative manifestation already given by 5,000 years before. So for example, what you called victim psychology.
Okay.
In West, there is called a Kemandram Yoga in Indian psychology, in Indian system, 5,000 years before, for example. Or Balarishta in 6th house. So those combinations, they already describe if a person has these kind of planetary position, he will start to have these kind of psychological traits. And because of those psychological traits, this person will start to attract certain positive and negative thing in life.
Okay.
So when you look at the chart, you can see total number of positive manifestation which are there in your chart. And then by understanding them, even you can increase their power. Like for example, I have combination which involves my personal life, business partner, life partner with my past life and planning. So when I do visualization meditation to attract the planets, attract the partners, business partner or life partner, it works like a magic. But if I do visualization for, let's say, work, it does not work. Because visualization will come from the area of mind, 5th house. So if 5th house is not connected with the 10th house, it would be much more.
10th house is which one?
10th house is about work.
Work. Okay, fifth. Okay, fifth is mind and 10th is work. So if they're not connected.
Or for example, I have a problem. And that problem is connected somehow with 3rd house, with my friends.
Okay, 3rd is friends. And
Okay.
yeah,
So I can understand this problem. I can help and solve much more easily if I involve my friends.
Okay.
Or I can understand that 6th house is not good. That means I will have a problem coming from some banks or death. So in that situation, better not to take a loan in that particular period. So there are a lot of nuances. Plus, within 1 minute, you can know what are your strong side, what are your weak side. Within 5 minutes, if you run a compatibility even on our application, you can know what you should not do to your partner. What are the do's and don't of the other person? Also, it becomes much more easy to accept other person when you know who is that other person. So the idea that all the humans are same just because they are human, that's very far from the true. Very far from the true. The first division is there are two kind of people. One is looking for security and one is looking for greatness.
Okay, yeah.
Then there are 12 signs. And in my system, which I call Astro Profile, we have 48 psychological profile which I created. Altogether, I mean, in my mobile application, I'm going to upload like up to 118. But for the moment, 48 psychological profiles are uploaded. So these are 48 kind of people which exist in the world. Okay. So if you know what type you are, what category you fall, and you understand the rules of this, life becomes much more simple. Life becomes much more easy.
And it's a combination of your house and the...
No, this is my knowledge.
Right.
So
how do you put together this? What does it depend on? Just basically. Yeah. What is the basis for creating this?
It depends on houses.
Category.
It depends on condition of planet, how strong and how weak they are.
Yeah.
It also depends on karmic period. Which karmic period person was born, how it impacted. And it also depends on positive manifestation, how many positive manifestation. So there are a lot of factors.
Yeah,
so there is a complicated algorithm. So it would be hard for me to explain how it works. But in general, a lot of factors are there.
Yeah. Okay. So you take into consideration a lot of factors.
Then you can understand the nature of your inner child, nature of your inner father. What is the dynamic of inner child, inner mother, inner father? You would be shocked. Using Indian astrology, you can see literally very easily even issues with the ancestors. Like you have issues coming with ancestors. So when you see this kind of problem, I ask people, go and please ask at your home, did somebody commit suicide, which is known? Or did somebody was killed in action or killed like not timely, accident happened, something happened? That can be seen by the chart that there is some genetic problems or something negative is coming from the side of ancestors. And you can verify it if this happened. So even that can be seen by astrology, and then there are remedies revealed by someone who created the Lord Brahma, which created astrology itself. So you create, for example, mantras. Now, what is mantra? Mantra is basically affirmation. But what kind of affirmation? It's not like affirmation of like I'm happy or I'm not happy. Mantra is activating the positive power of the house which it represents. So if I'm chanting right now, let's say Mars mantra. So it is the manifestation, if I'm a Scorpio, that I'm becoming more confident. If I'm chanting 6th house, it's also Lord of 6th house, that I will overcome any challenges. That impact it will have for me. For a Taurus, it would have a totally different impact. It would have like, I'm attracting life partner, I'm attracting business partner.
If you're chanting
Mars mantra. So even a mantra when you're chanting, for each person, whatever department, whatever house in astrology it represents, you start to bring positive impact of that.
If I chant moon for Taurus, what would that mean?
Moon for Taurus, it will means that you are saying, I'm good enough. I'm increasing base of my power. I'm connecting more to the universe. I'm increasing my level of energy which I'm bringing from my soul to my body. So it increases overall all the powers. If you are chanting moon mantra, Venus mantra, if you're Taurus, it's increasing the basic power. If you're Cancer and you're chanting moon mantra, then it is about your connection with yourself, for example. So each mantra is basically, what it does is that all the department, it increases the manifestation of that, positive manifestation. So you can say like, I want to be happy, I want to be happy, I want to be happy. It would be much less effective compared to if your house of happiness is ruled by Mercury and you chant Mercury mantra for 1 minute.
Okay. Oh, so you mean, well, I just wanted to clarify. You mean that there are some certain specific mantras for each
departments of your life, yes.
For each department?
Yes.
Or for each planet?
Each planet. And planet are owner of those departments.
Owners of those departments.
I see. So for example, rather than saying I want to be married, I want to be kind of find my partner, better to chant the mantra of 7th house, and that would bring more possibility that you can find the partner. Plus, you can also do affirmation together. Yeah. So that's the program I created, Astro program in our Astro Coach.
Fantastic. I even remember one, I think.
So astrology can help you to understand yourself. Okay. It can help you to understand the graphs, ups and down in the certain areas of your life. And then it can also give you, a good astrologer can give you a strategy, how to overcome. And can give you tools. Chant this mantra, you will start to attract this. On this day, moon is very weak, avoid doing something. Avoid the problems on this day.
But can you give the exact date when a person will get married?
Exact no, but within the year, yes.
So this is the positive period for getting married?
In my opinion, a good astrologer is 80% of his prediction comes true. 80%. Within the limited time frame. He told February it could happen March or it could happen April. He told 2024 could happen 2023, 2025. But most of what prediction is being made within a reasonable time frame, I think it comes true.
Okay.
And in my opinion, for example, how I do work. So you come to me, first 5 minutes, I will tell you who you are, how you think, what are your strong side, what are your weak side. And beyond any reasonable doubt, if you think more than 80, even more than 90%, this is absolutely about you, I would consult you. And if it is less than that, I would not even consult you. And
can that happen?
It happens once in a while. Out of 10,000, 1% or 2% can happen.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
Yeah. So it can happen.
Okay.
And I'm saying be skeptical. You can be skeptical. I don't have any problem with that. On the contrary, I think people should be responsible and smart for themselves, but have at least open window of the brain, open-minded, and then listen all the information, and you decide for yourself.
See and decide for
yourself. So once imagine somebody from the outside, he's describing you in a great details. And then he says like, oh my God, you have this potential. Oh my God, something like this is going to happen. Of course, it can help you greatly.
Yeah.
So it's, as a tool, astrology is a great tool which can help. Plus, when there is a good astrologer, it can make sure that there is a constructive communication, there is a constructive help, there is a right use of the tool which can help you to open your power. And overall, I think it's a super science, if you ask me. So it can deeply and greatly help in all areas of life. It can remove the blocks from personal life to get married. It can remove the blocks in the areas of money to get more money. It can remove blocks to be more happy, more healthy. It can help you to find and make the right choices in the career. It can help you to move to the right country. It can help you to understand what kind of health problem there could be exist. It can help you what are the best time in your life for making money. These are the years. What are the best time to have kids? These are the years. What are the times when you need to pay attention to health? These are the years. So very detailed life map can be created with the help of astrology.
Great. Well, this sounds really impressive. Thank you very much, Puneet.
Thank you, Vadim. If you have any question, comment, please don't hesitate, and we will try to make a video around it. Thank you.
Thank you.